Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and on this channel I share my love of all things paper crafting. Today we are going to make an exciting envelope. This is for my swap. I'm in a group and we are making junk journal ephemera that we swap with a partner every month. It's someone different. And of course, at the end of the year, we end up with a beautifully decorated journal. Mine is nautical theme, but the lady I am creating for today is doing a spring theme this year. So that means we need lots of pretty, we need lots of pastels. And the original inspiration that we were given for making this exciting envelope is from Angela Kerr. I'm sure most of you will know her. I'm going to do mine a little bit differently, but we'll be using the same sort of principles. Now, if you want to catch up on all the things I have been making for my partners, if you go to the playlist Creative Collab Journal, you can see them all. So the first thing we need to do is we need an envelope. Now, we have all made or will make a journal that is A5 in size, simply because it's one of the easiest sizes to work with, because a normal A4 sheet folded in half becomes A5. So I went through my stash and this seemed like the best size envelope that I could find that wasn't too big, but was big enough to make it worthwhile. It's 16.2 by 11.3 centimeters. Obviously, you can use any size envelope depending on the size of journal you will be making. So we're going to open up and release the flap. We're not going to be decorating this. This part will be going on the back eventually, so we're going to ignore that. We're going to start by decorating the front, but I will be sort of doing a bit of a two-fold arrangement here. If you see inside here, I have put a little sheet of baking paper, because the first thing I'm going to do is cover my envelope in this delightful printable that was part of a freebie from Ink and Page on Instagram. And I just think these colours scream spring. So that's what we're going to be doing. So what I need to do is cover my envelope here and here. So what we're going to do is just grab in a piece of junk mail, which I like to use for all my gluing. And then when all the pages are glued together, I toss it into the recycling bin. So I'm going to do it this way just because I want to try and get as close to the edge as possible to create a neat edge that's well glued down. And we just give this a lovely gentle cover of glue all over. And then we will start. I've cut this a little bit bigger at the moment. I trimmed it down from A4 size just so that I can try and get the edges really well glued. And then I can just trim off excess. That won't be an issue. So I want to try and get this sort of right up to the edge. It's not maybe... Yeah, actually that's... it's not too bad. Not quite to the edge as I want it, but we'll deal with that. And then we will just... Oh, where's a card? I need a card here just to flatten this out a little bit. Okay, then we're going to flip it over. We're going to line my little piece of the reason why I've put baking paper in here is in case I get a little bit carried away on the edges here. This is going to become a pocket inside, so I don't want these parts to glue down to the other side of the envelope. So when we're finished here, I will be able to just slide that out, keep things clean. Now, again, we're just trying to go right to the right to the edges. And it doesn't matter if we do go slightly over. The baking paper will help save the day. Just realised I might be out of frame there. I keep pulling things closer and closer to me. There we go. So we're just going to flip this around. And we're going to get a nice, neat fold. And we'll just fold that down like that. Okay. So let's just get that tacky gluey thing out of the way. Now, what I need to do is I need to trim. Oh, sorry, I just knocked the camera with my head, actually. Sorry about that. Let's do it from this side. I need to trim this off. So let's start with that. Without trimming the envelope, that would be ideal. Okay, then we can gently slide that out. We should be fine now. And then we just trim down our edges. Now just try and work out how far down we go. Tiny bit more. Okay, and the same for the other side. Voila. So we now have that well covered. Might hang on to that scrap, that might come in handy. Okay. So the next thing we have to do is, funny thing is, we're actually not going to use this side of the pocket. We need to open up this side now. So the reason why I folded it over was to try and make sure that all the edges were as well cut as possible. And now I'm just going to trim this tiny little bit along here so that we actually create a pocket that we can use. Voila. So now we've opened up this side of our envelope and nothing is stuck together. So that is exactly what I was trying to achieve. So we're going to flip this over. This is now officially the front of our envelope. And eventually we're going to, oh, I need to trim that a tiny bit more. I can just feel that. I'll do that off camera in a moment. We will be using the flap that way. So this is officially our front. And one of the things we're meant to put on the front is a little pocket. Now, it can be any shape you like. And the reason why I have shaped mine like this is the things I want to put in this pocket is just these two delightful feathers. So I've made a nice, long, thin sort of shaped one. Now, we need a little bit of decoration on this. And let me just pop that over there. Now, where's my glue? Come to here, Mama. What I've got is a little scrap of lace. So what I'm going to do is just very gently put a little squiggle of glue down the front, just to help hold the lace in place. I don't mind. I don't want to glue the side parts down. I don't think that's necessary. I don't mind if they can flap in the breeze, so to speak. There we go. So we've got a nice little bit of pretty lace, and I've chosen a sort of white colour, seeing we have white in the background there. Then the next thing I want to add, let me just grab it. Now, of course, I can't find it. Yes, I can. I found this old sticker sheet from Kaiser Craft, and I thought this bit here looked rather delightful. So we're just going to trim a bit off, a little bit longer than what we need, and then we'll trim it neatly down the bottom. Now, this is officially a sticker, but I've had this sticker sheet for an incredibly long time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a little bit of glue, because I don't trust that it's going to stay exactly where I want it. Probably glued down a little bit too far there, but that's okay. And we're going to place that down the center and gently tap that down. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's the sticker holding it down or the glue, it will not come off. And then we'll just trim off the excess down the bottom there. Fabulous. That's that done. Now, the next thing, I've also found another old sticker sheet that have these very cute little sentiments, and I'm thinking I want to use one of these. The biggest trouble is I can't decide which one. Keeping in mind that's our colour theme. Oh, I think maybe, oh, I wish I could decide which one I like the best. The Cherish is nice, but I wonder if it's a bit too bright. But then I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Actually, we might go for the green rather than the pink. Now, the same thing. This is an old sticker sheet that I have had in my stash for an incredibly long time, so I will never trust the glue on it. Definitely think we need... Yes, I think that at least stands out nicely. There we go. So that will not move either now, thanks to our glue. Then I've also got, I wonder if we should be adding one of these butterflies on here. Decisions. Might hold off on that because I have another butterfly in mind for the other section. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to grab a wet wipe quickly, as I can see my glue is dribbling off the side of my bottle, and to stick this pocket down I want a nice clean very thin line. So let's just clean that up and start afresh, because now I just want a nice see, I don't want too much. There we go. It probably is a bit tiny. The weather is so warm here today, and when it's like that, I find the glue just comes out so fast. And of course, if I had my little thin metal nozzle on my glue thing, all would be well. But of course, lo and behold, they keep falling in. I can't win with these glue bottles, I tell you. All right, now, this should still be fine. Now, we're just going to stick this on here. Probably should let everything dry properly. There we go. Get you back down there. And so now we have our little pocket. And while that's drying, I've got a couple of little things I want to add here. So the first thing I did after going through my stash, I found this very cute flower. I love the colours. I think they're a perfect match for my background, and normally I do like to trim excess white off, but in this case I'm actually going to leave it because I want it to improve the contrast of this flower. But I do love it, and it seemed like a perfect match. Now, where are my tweezers? Oh my gosh, if you could see my desk, you would know why I cannot find my tweezers, but that's okay. I have so much stuff over to the side here, it's ridiculous. I didn't realise one simple project would require 20,000 options placed in front of me before I made a decision. Right, so that's our flower down. And the other thing I want to add, I fussy cut this delightful little butterfly from a scrapbooking little piece I had left. It's got beautiful rose gold foil on it. So I think we're going to add a little butterfly. Okay. There we go. So I think that is our front done for now, unless of course I decide to add something else. That's very possible. But for now, I need to let this dry before I flip over and we play with the next part. So I'll be back soon. Right, so the front is all dry. It's time to flip it over and start decorating the back. Now, the first thing we're going to do is add another pocket. So we already have one pocket at the front, we have our pocket at the side, and now we're adding a third. So found this lovely scrap, thought the colour worked beautifully. So I'm going to actually glue this one down before I decorate because I want some of the deco to sort of go over the edge a little bit. So we'll just dot some glue along here, trying to keep it not too thick. I do want this pocket to sort of be as wide as possible because I found this tag in my stash that I want to include in this pocket, except of course this hot weather, as I said, is making the glue very thin, so it's going to be a little bit difficult, but that's okay, we'll work it out. I can always trim the tag down a bit more if I really need to. So over we go. Now this tag is very long, so this pocket is going to go right down on the edge. And to decorate this pocket, I thought we needed some flowers. So let me just pick up all these gorgeous fussy cuts. These were from a few different sheets that I had in my stash, and I sort of tried to go for a little yellow and a little pink, trying to avoid purples and blues because this colour theme does not lend itself to that. It's amazing how many different shades flowers can come in, I tell you. And especially when you want to try and avoid a particular one. So we're just going to randomly drop these down. And build a little circle. And I, as I said, don't mind if it sort of hangs off the edge a bit. Perfect. It's getting so grey here now. Apparently there is a lot of rain heading our way, and I think they're even forecasting a wet Easter. I do feel for all the people that are going to spend a fortune to come up to the Sunshine Coast for their Easter break, and they may very well get rained out. It's so unfair, but you can't control the weather. Thankfully, I'm not going anywhere for Easter. I will be staying home. My girls are coming up to visit, so that will be delightful as they both live in Brisbane. And it looks as though, by absolute miracle, I'm actually going to get Easter off. I don't expect to get Easter off. I do work in retail, so working Easter is sort of a given. But I think I may be lucky this year. I know I'm definitely not working on Easter Sunday, which I thought I would be. And I have a feeling I have Monday off too, but they haven't quite released that roster. Now, I'm babbling away here. I've got a couple of other little bits I want to add to the centre of this. I found this cute little locket, and what I did, I grabbed my sort of bronzy coloured ink pad and just sort of gently dabbled over it to try and tone down the white. So we're going to pop that in there because I thought that was very pretty. And then I got another butterfly from the same scrap. I found this one, and I think we'll add that in there. Voila. Perfect. That looks delightful. Now, the next thing we have to do, hang on a minute, let me just clean this up, put the lid back on, is part 3. Now, this is, of course, another piece from my stash. What's on the back doesn't matter, because what's going to happen, this is going to get attached here. Then the back of this gets glued down onto your page so that this pocket becomes a flip arrangement. So we're going to glue this down now. Actually, I think what I'll do might be easier if I just add the glue to here, I think. I'll just use glue stick. Ooh-hoo's pretty good, and this way this won't get too wet and crinkly because it's only a thin envelope. So let's just flip that around here. Get my butterflies the right way up because they sort of have one, and then try and place this relatively central so we have sort of the same amount sticking out of the bottom, and of course that becomes a cute frame. It's not 100% even. I think my cutting is the issue. So what I'll do is I will tidy that up later on. I think I need to cut a tiny bit off there and trim that, but that's irrelevant for now. I'm not going to add another pocket. I'm going to do something slightly different here. I found this absolutely stunning but huge die cut. And I've often thought, I have no idea how I'm ever going to use a die cut of that size, but guess what? I have found the perfect solution. But instead of gluing it completely down, I'm just going to put some glue here and down here, and I'm actually going to make this a tuck spot. So honestly, this envelope is full of all sorts of wonderful things. Little spots for more goodies everywhere you turn. So we'll just add a little bit of glue. Definitely using the heavy duty variety for this because it's going to be a tuck spot. So we won't rely on glue stick to help us out. And then we're going to sort of stick that right down there. Voila, there we go. Just let that dry for a minute. So again, I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, then I'll come back and we're going to fill this full of goodies. It's now time to fill all our little spots. So as I mentioned, I have these two very cute feather die cuts that I am popping in this front pocket. I also found this very cute little tag. I've just popped some pink ribbon on it, and we're going to just add that in there, sticking out, because there's a cute little pink flower on that, and I think we'll call that part done. Then coming into this pocket, this is the journal card I found in my stash. Love the colours. It also has some rose gold on it. So I think that will go in here. That is providing I don't have to trim it down. Yes, I might have to trim it down a little bit more. Unfortunately, my glue has just gone a bit haywire. I'm going to have to decant into a new, I have got some new bottles with the little miniature metal nozzle, so we're going to have to do some decanting. So this was just done with some scraps. I have no idea why I did it, but I found it and I went, oh, it's absolutely perfect. So that is going in there and it just fits. Doesn't matter that it sticks out a bit. I quite like that. Especially because I like the colour on the back, so I think that works fine. Now, I also made another one, found a little bit of this rose gold foil in my stash, added a little piece of the offcut from the back of this here, and of course another butterfly, seeing we're going with that theme. And that fits in there perfectly. Again, happy for that to stick out at the top. I don't want to cut that any shorter. Now we've got to put some goodies in our big pocket here. Was gifted this delightful postcard. I've got a few of them. I thought green and pink with a dash of yellow, that was perfect. I also found this journal card. Again, loved the greens on it, so we're including that. And this. No idea where I got this from, possibly in a swap. It's a cutout, I would presume, from a piece of scrapbook paper. But again, we got pink and green. So we're trying to keep our colour theme working. So we're going to tuck those things in there. And they fit perfectly. And finally, I have this gorgeous little vellum envelope. The last time I was in Dayso, I bought this little pack, and it includes the envelopes and little note paper. Green on it, perfect. And inside I have just put some floral die cuts that came from this set. So again, everything matches. And I think we will just pop that into our little tuck spot. And there we go. It's all done. So one simple envelope becomes a multitude of hidden spots with all sorts of pretty things in it. And that is now ready to, oh, actually, you know what? I think I might find something little just to pop on there to cover the back of that staple. I will go through my stash and see what I can find. But otherwise, I think we'll call that one done. Hope you enjoyed that. Got a spare envelope? Go through your stash and see what you can put together. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, pop them down in the box below. I'd love it if you would give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye for now.